Hey there guys, DMO73 here, bringing you the deck profile for the green-black Lilias Petal list that was given to me by my friend Taylor Norris. This is just kind of a place to get started for you for Lilias. I think there's some cards in here that I'll talk about a little bit, things that kind of can be replaced, pulled out, kind of tweaked in terms of numbers. But it is a good shell, I think, to start getting you used to the idea of Lilias Petal. So let's just go ahead and dig right in. So Lilias Petal himself is a 0 judgment creature with Energize for a 0 judgment ruler with Energize for green or black. Flips over into Nine-Tailed Fox, cannot do battle, and cannot be destroyed. Pretty interesting. And then its activate ability is banish a Wind Resonator, a Darkness Resonator, and a Killing Stone you control. And then when it resolves, you will grab a Chimera from either your hand, deck, RFG area, or outside the game. Those four. It's important to keep in mind that he cannot grab chimeras from the graveyard. This is super important and is why you run multiple copies of each chimera rather than sacking them and bringing the same one back over and over and over again. And then you can also tap him to take a Killing Stone from your graveyard and put it back into your deck, which is also something that is pretty handy, especially when you don't do things like I did on the video and tap him when you don't have swiftness. So don't do that because it is a tap effect. I just misplayed and was completely forgetting that I had judgmented him that turn because I usually flip him pretty early. Moving into the stone lineup, we play green-black, so this is going to be pretty straightforward. 4 of Killing Stone, it's kind of your most important combo piece. Without this, your deck can't go off. 4 Magic Stone of Black Silence, and then 1 each of a Darkness Magic Stone and a Wind Magic Stone. Now moving into the creature lineup, we'll start with the 1-drop Darkness Resonators. We run 4 Monkey Trapped in Life. It's just nice because it's repeatable, so like once it, if you keep sacrificing it to Lilias Petal, you're just gonna keep getting to bring it back and reuse it over and over again. For that reason, I would probably only play 3 moving forward. I was considered putting in some different stuff, but this guy is pretty important for the deck. A 1-of Servant of the Mikage. This guy's nice to bring back with Lilias Petal's Assistant or to bump up a Chimera. I mean, it's kind of cute. I'm not necessarily sure how competitive it is with the idea of just getting those +2, +1, +1 counters, but it is another Darkness Resonator to consider, and it's a Darkness Resonator that can't just immediately get killed by something like a Flame Sprite Ping, which is important. Moving into the Wind 1-drops, 4 of Tama. This card is excellent, helps you draw cards and keeps the draw power alive. You can bring it back with the Lilias Petal's Assistant to immediately draw another card, super strong. 3 of Magic Stone Lifeform. I don't really know how I feel about this card in terms of the slots. It feels like for this build it wasn't quite necessary. For other builds that are maybe more controlling and ramp based, I definitely can see this card being strong because then you can kind of maybe replace itself when it dies. But in this variant, I don't necessarily think this card needs to stick around. 4 of Red Riding Hood, just because she is an additional way to deal damage, she helps you ramp, and as you saw in the video, when you sacrifice her, you get another stone back, so you can kind of mitigate the cost completely of sacrificing, because you're going to get 3 stones typically up in terms of the early game when you use Griffin. 2 of Fairy Shadow, just as a darkness creature that can help get rid of 1-drops, things like Guinevere or Alice's Little Scout, or things that are in your way like Flame Sprite. Definitely need those if you don't have removal spells. 4 of Fruit of Yggdrasil for more draw power. I don't really think this card is as necessary moving forward to more competitive builds. I think I would rather put in something like World Tree Protector, that as more of it dies, I get a stronger body that helps push damage outside of my chimeras. Definitely something I think that you can consider with it. And then 4 of Lilias Petal's Assistant. I think this also is a very important card for the deck. Essentially is a 3-mana creature that just immediately turns on the combo because you just grab 1 of your 1-drops, and then you've got either a Darkness and a Wind creature or a Wind and a Darkness creature with Lilias Petal's Assistant to be able to sack for Lilias Petal's effect. Moving into the spells, we run 4 Blessing of Yggdrasil. This is so that we can get those Killing Stones as fast as possible if we're not seeing them early. A 1-of Black Moonbeam, just in case. 2 Wind-Secluded Refuge for more draw power. I'm not necessarily sure how important this card is for this, especially since you can usually sack in response if you're playing smart with Lilias Petal, but it does cantrip, which can be helpful. One of Last Drop. This is a card that I would consider playing more of, especially with Red Riding Hood or things like World Tree Protector, as you need to kind of make them repeat and stuff like that, and the life gain isn't bad either. A Faded Reunion. This card probably gets cut in my book, but it is something that you can use if you have 2 Darkness Resonators to search any card of your deck and immediately put it in your hand, or if you have one, just put a card back on top of your deck that you're going to need next turn. So it's kind of like a Hydromonica in that sense without being a Regalia. You can play 2 Tuning of Water or Wind and Darkness. This is another card that I probably cut. It just kind of feels a little slow for the list, and I think that there are other ways you can fill this spot. But when it goes off, you can recycle a Lilias Petal's Assistant, which is nice. And if you get it both, then it's essentially a free card, because you actually ramp 4 stones back up instead of the 3 that you cast for it. 2 Dance of Shadows. I really like this card a lot for 2 reasons. One, instant speed flashback of a Chimera that was in your graveyard that you kind of needed, and then once it gets exiled, you can then flash it into your opponent's turn, swing with it on your turn, it'll get exiled, and then you can bring it back with Lilias Petal's effect later, because it doesn't go to the grave, it gets RFG'd at the end of the turn when it would die, which is pretty nice. And then a Horn of Sacred Beast, just to help be able to recycle the deck, especially to get all those Chimeras out of the grave and back into your deck if you need them. Now in the sideboard, that is where we keep the Chimeras. You can do kind of any combination. In the video though, we ran 3 Amets, the 15/15 kill a dude, gain some life. We ran 3 of the Griffin to help us ramp, and we ran 3 of the Manticore for hand control. You can kind of tech however you want. I would probably say you run like 2 Chimeras, maybe 1 Amet, and like 3 Chimera, and then 3 Griffins. It's based on your matchup. I definitely think that this guy is great late game when you need to control the hands, and then Griffin is used early game to help you ramp up. So it's all kind of based on your personal preference, I think. But that is the list. Let me know what you guys think. Huge thanks to Taylor Norris for shipping me the list. I definitely think you guys should check this guy out. He's a ton of fun to play, and I think he's got a lot of potential in this format. So go ahead and leave a comment down below with what your thoughts are. Like, comment, and subscribe as always. And until next time, this is DMO73 signing off.